What's up, internet? My name is Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
What happened?
What?
That is right. Yep. Yep. How you doing, Clarus?
I was fine until you came at me like that. And now I'm a little ruffled. All right. You can't surprise improv music on me. I can barely improv. You think I can improv music? I think the one time I almost threw up in theater school was when we had to improvise a musical.
Improvise a musical?
Yeah.
Wow, that's hard.
It was horrible. Ours was about toilet paper.
Oh,
it
I
was
would
the
love that.
dumbest. No. Mm-mm.
I love me some improvised music.
No. No. I can barely do music. I can't make it up on the spot. Like.
Y'all, good morning. Welcome to the Nightly Morning Show. The only morning show ever put on
the internet.
The internet.
Yeah,
that's probably true.
Yeah.
We
didn't look it up first, but it's definitely 100% true.
But no one else does this. Come on.
No.
Come on.
Nobody wakes up super early and puts big lights on their faces and, talks to an audience for an indiscernible amount of time. It's never been done before.
Wow, you are ruffled. So
I thought that was funny. All right, I'll leave.
If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to our podcast feed, we do this live every Monday over on twitch.tv/nerdynightly. You can come join the chat, be a part of the video, and stuff like that. Clarus, what's new? How you doing?
I'm okay. I had to watch The Force Awakens last night, so I've seen better days. But
it's not even all that long. Like it's not like that's not a hardship.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
It's not that long. It flies. It's a quick movie.
Yeah, it was quick because I was taking notes. I'm gonna make a video. But I don't know. Right. It's kind of like gray and gross outside.
I love it.
Oh.
I just want to lie in bed.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
Sip
Here's the thing.
tea.
If it was like a chill, cozy day where we could just literally lay in bed all day, it'd be great. But because I have things to do and I have to get up, it feels sad.
Zubrick, yeah, she literally wrote a page of notes.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I feel really good today.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I did a stream yesterday on Chaotic Neutral Goblin's channel.
Mm-hmm.
And we argued about Star Wars for 5 hours.
It was great. If you guys missed it, I think Goblin might be sharing the VOD.
The VOD is still up on her channel, so if you want to watch it, it's funny, it's silly. We did a lot of like improv and stuff, and played games in between debating topics, and I feel like Jeffers, Twerk, and I, all had really good points, and all like brought it, but we're all still like kind, and our friendship is intact, thankfully. But we raised over $900 for the Polaris Project, a project to put an end, or working towards the goal of putting an end to human trafficking, which is, just a dreadful scourge in the world, and something that it really felt so uplifting to be able to put to bring people together with Star Wars, one of my favorite things, to raise money for such an incredible project. So I'm riding high off that a little bit. It was a nice way to spend a Sunday. Yeah. And I just want to thank everyone in the community who showed up and who gifted and donated to the cause, because the Polaris Project is truly a worthwhile one. And I'm like on a high from that. Also, we beat Pokemon Gold last night. That's not as exciting, obviously. It's maybe, it's personally exciting because I reset twice in gold. But, it felt good. It felt really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, almost done with Gen 2. Well, not almost, but like...
1 down, 2 to go.
Yeah, you're on your way.
Yeah, so I'm going to be playing Pokemon throughout the week. I'm hoping to beat Pokemon Silver this week, between tomorrow, Wednesday, and Sunday, but we'll see.
All right.
We will see.
I believe in you.
Should we get into the news?
Sure.
I think that's what people come here for, right?
Questionable.
All right, y'all. Let's, should we start international box office? Or no, actually, we should start with our title story. We should absolutely start with our title story. So here's the deal, y'all. I don't know if you guys have been following along, but Outriders is a video game that has come out now. It had a demo that I downloaded and never played. unfortunately.
Right.
Just because I did not have time. But the game has come out, and it is a looter shooter, sort of in the vein of Destiny. And we have gotten to a point with the game where there is a bug within the game that has been pretty persistent, where sometimes people log in and their characters' inventories are completely gone. And in a game that is all about getting better loot to advance your character, this is a huge problem. And people are losing, people were losing hours and hours of their collections and stuff. And ultimately it resulted in a patch that recently came out that did not fix the problem.
Oof.
And so now, where players were previously losing maybe 20 hours of loot, there are players now who are logging in and losing 94 hours of loot, from one story I read on Kotaku. And the company is working to fix this.
Jeez.
But the question that it brought up for me, and the question I wanted to pose to you, because we've seen this now many times this year, right? Cyberpunk, disastrous launch. Avengers, bad launch.
Yeah.
Now Outriders, bad launch. Is the pandemic, and is the fact that these game companies are trying to make games from their homes and socially distance and not being able to go into their studios and work together on the proper machines, is it ruining AAA gaming?
Do you think it's the fact that people are working from home, or do you think it's that people are trying to get out entertainment during the pandemic for people who are at home?
Well, no, these games were supposed to come out. I mean, these games have been in the works for... Cyberpunk was in the works for 7 years.
I guess.
Like, they didn't, like... They weren't, like... Because Cyberpunk was supposed to come out at the beginning of last year, right? Like, they weren't, like, suddenly, like, let's push it out 2 years early. It ended up coming out 8 months later than we thought it was going to.
Yeah.
But so I do think that, like, the pandemic is putting a bottleneck on production in a way. And I wonder how much... I wonder how difficult it is to create these games in the environment that they're in.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to talk about because I don't know a lot about game development, and I don't know, I don't know what these people's setups are in their homes versus in the studio. But I would imagine that your at-home setup is absolutely not going to be what it is in the office, and you're not going to have the people there to work off of. So yeah, I guess that makes sense.
John, the BlindSeer in our chat, says, no, this problem started years ago. Companies no longer invest in software quality assurance. They found they can release something and people will test it for free, and they think that's good enough. That is a really interesting concept. Yeah,
everybody puts out a beta or an early access now, and which is why I kind of avoid them. Like, because I mean, I know that personally, I will really get frustrated when games don't work, and then when it actually comes out, like, I won't bother. And I think that's kind of, I've always kind of thought it's kind of cheesy to put out, like, betas of games for anybody. Look, if you have a beta group, if you, like, draw from, like, a pool of people who want to volunteer and, like, it's, like, a special thing, and they get to play and beta test your game, cool, like, that's, like, a fun opportunity for people that I think, that's what they're passionate about. But for them to just, like, sell the game, but it's early access and it just doesn't work right away. Like, Baldur's Gate early access apparently was garbage. I think it's kind of crappy of companies because it feels like they're taking advantage. And that's why I don't really play betas.
I disagree with that for certain kinds of games.
Okay.
Right? Like, the Avengers game has to have an early access and a beta period.
Right, because it's all online.
Yeah. So when the concept of the game is you are going to work online with people, and we need to test how our servers function when someone from Japan, someone from Canada, I don't think a company could reasonably hire enough people to do a paid beta group where they're like, okay, we're going to hire 6 million people to play at the same time to make sure our server functions.
Right.
I think in that case, I think the Avengers beta, and I actually gave the Avengers beta a really good review, right? Like, I played the Avengers beta in August of last year, and I had a really good time with the beta, partially because the amount of time I put in the beta was almost the entire game. Was almost the entire amount of time I enjoyed the game for.
Yeah.
When it actually came out. but something like that, something like Outriders, like having a demo where they get to test their servers is one thing, right? And I think that doing early access for like a game like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The problem for me is when your early access is not for the multiplayer component, but it's for all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know. It seems kind of cheap.
Yeah.
Like and look, I like I said, there are reasons why certain companies do it and yada yada yada, but we are seeing more and more games come out that when they're released are like have like major problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I don't think that should be the case. Now, I understand you cannot plan for everything. Mm-hmm. There are millions and millions and millions of people playing your game, and you cannot test for everything. I totally get it. But like huge game breaking bugs are hard for me to forgive. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to miss this because it's getting up there in the chat, but it's been brought up by a couple of people. Hades had an early access, right, and Subnautica has used early access for their games. And I just want to push back on those really quick because I don't have any problem ever with an independent developer having betas and early accesses.
Right.
You are an independent developer. You don't have the money. You like indie games leaning on their community to help make the games work is a completely different thing
than a
because
AAA title.
The game typically doesn't cost me $70.
Exactly.
And so
Hades was $20.
Yeah, I look at something like Phasmophobia, right? Like Phasmophobia released in early access and became one of the biggest games on Steam, right? And I never had a problem with the bugs in that game. It's one person making a game that millions of people enjoyed and millions more people enjoyed watching, right? And so in those scenarios, that early access is completely valid to me because you're an independent developer. You can't afford quality assurance. You probably can't afford employees.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that it's different when it's a AAA gaming studio,
Cyberpunk,
or versus Hades or these games where like independent gaming is all about the community. That's all it is, right? And so I think I don't want to put those two things in the same box.
Yep, that's totally fair.
For like Subnautica is a game that I think you can do your early access, make your game as good as you can before you release it, because you have to compete with studios that have billions of dollars. Mm-hmm. Literally, Microsoft spent what, $4 billion or no, $8 billion buying Bethesda?
Oh, buying Bethesda, yeah.
Right, they have money. They're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's an important distinction to make. Mm-hmm. Because, one guy making a video game, Phasmophobia, versus CD Projekt Red is
just watch the credits for that game, right? Like
Yeah. Just like, and I totally get that. It makes sense. Mm-hmm. I still just personally, because of my own experiences, don't tend to play betas because I know if it doesn't work, then I will get upset about it, which is why I'm waiting for Subnautica to come out in May.
Yeah, I don't have that same problem. I actually really, I'm one of the people who likes betas because I like watching things. I like watching the process. Right? So, like, for me, like, getting in on a beta to me is always exciting because I'm like, ooh, maybe it'll be broken, and then I'll get to play it before and after. It's like when Spider-Man was on Broadway. When Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark was first on Broadway, worst title of any musical ever, by the way. How do you turn off the dark? Like, what does that mean?
I don't know.
And also, in the musical, they don't turn off the dark. That's not something that happens. It doesn't relate to anything in the musical. It's really odd. Spider-Man opens on Broadway with a insane plot, like a genuinely ridiculously insane plot. Mm-hmm. The first act is essentially the first Spider-Man movie, and then the second act involves Spider-Man fighting a interdimensional spider god who's in love with him, but he doesn't want to be with her. It's really messed up, right? Also, there's instead of a Greek chorus, they have a geek chorus, but it's like nerds that are it basically makes fun of nerds the whole time, and like people who enjoy Spider-Man comic books, and you're kind of, as a person, sitting there being like, but who do you think bought the tickets? Who do you think your audience is? Why are you making fun of people who like Spider-Man?
That's a choice. Okay.
Very odd, right? They closed for like 6 months. They fire they fire Julie Taymor, the director.
They fired Julie Taymor?
Yeah. They bring in a whole new team and rewrite the entire show so that the first act is now the whole show. They cut the entire second act.
Interesting. Julie Taymor's done some great stuff.
Reopen the show, and it's better. It's not great. I still cried every time Spider-Man flew around the room, but it's better. And they fixed it and made it more like friendly towards comic book fans, which I can't believe was a thing they had to do. But I saw it twice before and 3 times after. And so getting to see both versions to me was such a joy, because I was like, ooh, they changed that and they changed that. And like, I really enjoy the iterative process. It's why I like my Nuzlocke, right? Like, I like seeing something messing up and then like trying to figure out a way to do it better.
Yeah. Is there a difference between beta and early access?
Yeah, so a beta is like a period, is like a window where you can try the game, or generally like a section of the game. Typically a beta will be like a week or 2 weeks, where they're like, the game is available for this period and you can play it. Early access means that you own a copy of the game, and you will continue to have access to that game for as if you bought a copy on day one. Mm-hmm. But like, you don't have to buy a copy of the game to play a beta or a demo typically. Avengers, you didn't have to. So like that's the difference. Like a beta and a demo is typically a period where you like play, or it's a small a demo's, well, no, I think a beta is when it's a small period but it's most of the game. A demo is when it's like a very specific chunk of the game. And then early access is you own a copy of the game and you will have whatever version of it is currently available.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay. That makes a little bit more sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, because I was like, I don't actually know. I've never...
That's my understanding. I could be wrong, though, because a beta could just be an early version of a game. But like, typically, betas don't cost anything.
Really?
Yeah, like, a lot of times, like, the beta will be free to encourage you to buy the game.
I thought, like, the demos were generally free.
That as well, yeah. But a lot of times, like, if it's, like, the beta will be open for 3 days on this weekend for everyone to play the new Modern Warfare so we can test the new servers, those people don't... sometimes they do. Sometimes you get early access to the beta if you have pre-ordered the game, stuff like that. But, yeah. Okay.
All right, fair enough. Might just, like, look into that.
Yeah, I like betas. I actually really like betas. I think being a part of the process is fun. I prefer to be a part of the process for indie games where it feels like I'm helping something, where I feel like my feedback actually like matters. Yeah. And it's not just like they ignore the feedback and they're just going to look at their numbers and then do whatever they can with it. But yeah, hopefully Cyberpunk is fixed soon. It's almost there.
Almost.
Do you think Cyberpunk will be a fully functioning game a year after it comes out?
A year? God, I hope so.
Do you think we'll get the PS5 and Xbox Series updated version, like next-gen versions of the game, by the time it's a year out?
Yeah.
Because if you're playing on PS5 or Xbox Series X, you are still playing an upscaled version of the last-gen game.
Yeah. No, I think... A year, and then you guys, you done fudged up, like.
Otter is saying the game that they're playing in beta even asked the beta players what their name was in the credits. That's so cool.
See, that's like that. That's how you do those kind of things.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think Zubrick in the chat. I think it was Zubrick asked if I would play an Elder Scrolls 6 early access, and that would be a tough decision for me, to be honest. A part of me is like...
It depends on if you can stream it or not.
That's it.
Because if you can stream it, I would not let you say no to that.
That's it. If I could stream it, like, my community is very, like, Skyrim based. You know, a lot of people there love Skyrim. And so, yeah, if I could stream it and, like, share that experience with everybody, absolutely. But if not, I don't know. I would probably just wait because, like I said, I wouldn't want to get, like, frustrated and rage quit.
Yeah, I would play early access of anything, especially if I could stream it. I would love to get to get to a point in the industry where people ask me that. Yeah. Do you want to play this video game for us? I'd be like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. BlindSeer is saying alpha major development is still occurring, beta major development is complete, additions, bug fixes, and changes to better fit target audience. This is part of the problem. Even important SQA definitions have been skewed. These definitions are no longer often true. Interesting.
Kind of use it to...
That's actually good information to know, John. Thank you for that. We've been told not to stream it for now, but if there's a beta I'm allowed to stream, I definitely will. Otter, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I can't wait to find out what this game is.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we need... is there anything else on this story, or should...
We just got a follow from Segondese Notes. Thank you for the follow, Segondese Notes.
That's beautiful.
I don't mind saying that.
It's just like the spelling is like so left field.
I know, I love it. I'm kind of into it.
Oh, God.
I also got my name for the credits. That's so cool. I want to be in the credits of a video game.
That's so fun. I like that. One day.
That one I'm not saying. All right, we're going to. Rebel, can you ban Segondese Notes? Please.
That's fine.
That one went too far. They're run by people who have their own agendas. Oh yeah, Dark Dispatch. I have not really been following what you've been saying, but.
Oh, sorry, Muddles.
Clarus just banned them. Muddles unbanned them and then rebanned them.
That's my bad.
All right. I think we've talked about this. So you don't think it's the pandemic then? You think it is? You think it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I feel like we've gone through that. Should we start? Should we get into our weekend box office?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Y'all, we have some good news. Godzilla vs Kong has made some money.
Yes.
Has made some real money at the box office. And it's super exciting because it means, we are in a better position to reopen. And I know we talked about this last week, but this is exciting, y'all. Godzilla vs. Kong came in number 1 at the weekend box office this week with $13.3 million. It is a drop of almost 60%. However, you have to realize that it is also on HBO Max. People can watch this movie at home.
Yeah.
And some places... since last week have reclosed everything. Mm-hmm. Ontario has fully closed everything again. And there are other places. So you never know how that affects these things. But its domestic gross has passed Tenet. And it is sitting at $69.5 million in just domestic money. And worldwide, Godzilla vs. Kong has made $357.8 million.
Wow, okay.
Meaning that it is the highest grossing Western-made film since the pandemic began by a lot. By over $200 million.
Yeah. No, it's a big deal, and it's really good
This is a huge, huge deal. Yeah. So Godzilla vs. Kong is crushing it. Literally. In second place, Nobody actually jumped over The Unholy, which was in second place last week, by only dropping 11% to $2.6 million. The Unholy dropped 23% to make $2.4 million. Raya the Last Dragon actually gained. It's up 4.9% from last weekend, making $2.1 million.
So a small increase, but still.
Yeah, and the new film Voyagers, the space horny film based on that one trailer I saw, came in at number 5 with $1.3 million. I think people kind of just didn't know what it was. Yeah. That trailer, it didn't do the best job selling it to me.
No.
But in interesting news, The Croods 2 is back up a little bit. In the biggest raise of the top 10, it went up 9.3%.
Y'all hype in the chat for that.
Hype in the chat for some Croods New Age. It's at $245,000. So
okay.
It's still alive. The dream, it only needs to get like another $1 million. So it just has to stay at this number for like 4.5 weeks.
Yeah. I think it can. I believe.
If Croods can still be making money 24 weeks after its release, it might beat Tenet.
Yeah. Hey, it could happen,
Yeah.
Nothing major is coming out in theaters in the next 4 weeks, right?
Mortal Kombat.
For April? Yeah, Croods and Mortal Kombat do not have the same audience, I'm gonna assume.
I don't know. There is potential here for Croods. There's the potential is there, y'all. The potential is there. I would love to see it. You guys know we talk about this every week. I want to see it so bad for no real reason. I haven't seen Croods 2. Like, I don't know why I care so much.
Yeah, we literally don't know if it's a good movie. It's just that, like, Tenet, woof.
But it did lose 73 theaters this week, so who knows?
No. Okay.
It's still sitting over 1,000, so there's still potential for it to make money, but we're gonna see. And yeah, that's kind of all the big domestic news. The big news, obviously, Godzilla vs Kong making real money. It's very, very, very exciting. But in other news, let me pull this up really quick. Let's just talk about something for a sec.
Okay. Black Widow pushed back to June, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second, actually.
Okay. I'm just trying to think what else is coming out.
Well, we actually have news about Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
Because Mortal Kombat has opened in some markets in a really weird, in a truly bizarre release strategy. Mortal Kombat is currently open in Russia. It doesn't open in Canada for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And in the States. So this movie is going to be rolling out slowly. And if you do not want spoilers for Mortal Kombat, I'm telling you right now.
Stay off of Russian Twitter.
No, just be careful on the internet.
Yeah.
Images and stills, those are the same thing. And short videos from theaters have been making their way online. And this movie is being spoiled very quickly because there are quite a few markets this movie has opened in. And it is currently, over the week, it's opening weekend internationally in some small markets. It has made $11 million.
Oh, okay.
Which is actually, doesn't sound like a lot, but it hasn't opened in really what anyone would consider like huge major markets for Western movies. You know, American movies don't do amazingly well in Russia. So $11 million for the small markets it has entered into at the moment is really exciting. And people seem to actually be really enjoying the movie. It's getting praised for its choreography in the action. And it's being praised for the fact that the plot is like not amazing, but like makes enough sense that it justifies getting from fight to fight.
Okay.
Which is really all you can ask.
It's Mortal Kombat.
It's Mortal Kombat. Like, if you can just get me from fight to fight without me going, like, this is the dumbest thing in the world, like I thought of Thunder Force, then you're fine. You know what I mean? Then you're Gucci. And, yeah, I'm just really excited to see Mortal Kombat off to a good start. I just wish that it was available here now so I don't have to spend the next 2 weeks hiding from every link I see on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It should be fine. Like, hopefully people, like, mark them spoilers. But I'm sure a lot of people don't.
No, they do not. Y'all, the best news to come out of the major box office success of Godzilla vs. Kong is the doubling down by the Warner Brothers team. This is a quote from the company's CEO, Jason Kilar. I think it's very fair to say that a big, let's say a big DC movie, it's very fair to say that would go exclusively to theaters first and then go somewhere like an HBO Max after it's in theaters. There has been a lot of conversation about whether or not Warner Brothers would be keeping this hybrid model of HBO Max and theatrical releases. It does look like moving forward, once we hit 2022, Warner Brothers will be returning to a theatrical release only model, and they will not be keeping this up. And I have to say, this is not surprising to hear, considering Godzilla vs. Kong just made them so much money.
Yeah.
And just did so well.
And could have potentially made them more if it was only in theaters.
Yes.
And post-pandemic. Because there are a bunch of people who already had HBO Max and just watched it there when they probably would have paid to go see it in a theater.
I would have. We would have, right? Like, they lost out on our money because we watched it at home. Yep. Not really, because we paid for it, but we don't watch anything illegally. I just want to be very clear.
Yeah.
We paid to watch the movie. Warner Brothers, if you want to send us screeners, we would love that.
One day.
One day. But the movie did so well that I feel like Warner Brothers is going, yeah, we can't.
Yes,
HBO
do
Max
not let theaters die.
Yeah, HBO Max, and also HBO Max money isn't enough.
Yeah.
As we saw with the numbers for Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? Like, even though it did well for a streaming movie, it's not going to make them enough money to justify the cost. And like Godzilla vs Kong, though the money they're making from their box office release is just more valuable, right? Than the money they're making from HBO Max, unless those people were to stay on for months and months and months and months and months of subscriptions. Which it doesn't look like people are. HBO Max seems to have a very up and down subscriber count. So I don't know. I think it's really exciting to see them say that they're going to go back to investing in the theatrical model. I think that if the theatrical model can survive this year, movie theaters are going to come back. They're going to come back strong. People love going to the movies, and I think that we're going to see it, right? We're going to see a lot of love and support for.
Well, and we were worried for a bit, you know, like we love going to the movies.
Yeah, we do.
We love movie theaters, and we talked about, you know, how many jobs movie theaters provide, and like what a staple they are for. I don't know, for like honestly, like our society. Like in North America, like going to the movies, it's a thing, and thank God it looks like we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, and you know, the next story I want to talk about is actually in the same model. We're kind of talking a lot of money here, right?
It's good. It's important news, though. You know, it matters.
But this was a really interesting story to me because Black Widow, some Black Widow projections have come out, and they compared because we said when they pushed back Black Widow, I think that was last week or 2 weeks ago. I can't even remember. I had said like, this is dumb. Just put it out in May. I'm wrong. I will like to own that I'm wrong if these projections are true, because one box office analyst at Exhibitor Relations has said that they expected to make about $45 million opening weekend in May, domestically, which would have been a really good opening. Would have beat what Godzilla vs Kong did. Godzilla vs Kong obviously did more in a 5-day weekend, but in the 3-day it didn't. They're saying that the movie stands to make around the movie has the potential to make $170 million opening weekend in July.
Okay.
So they're saying this one box office analyst is saying the potential, the money making potential of the July date versus the May date is more than almost 4 times as much money.
Yeah.
And so when I hear that number, I'm like, okay, I'm wrong. I get why they moved.
I get it. Yeah. And look, I mean, we're just 2 people on the internet. You know, we can only give our opinions based on our limited knowledge. Yeah. Obviously, an analyst knows what they're doing. And I honestly, I am surprised because that is a significant jump. That's a big increase. But, you know, the longer they wait, the more people are vaccinated, the more things are open. You know, like hopefully Toronto is open by then.
But the other thing about July is that according to Biden's plan for the United States, every American adult in the United States will have access to the vaccine by then. Every single one, right? And so the idea that they'll go back to what we're seeing is that even in pandemic times, people want to go to the movies, right? That's what we've seen from Godzilla vs Kong. Mm-hmm. So the idea that like the next MCU movie post-pandemic, when people are vaccinated, we won't be vaccinated yet, obviously, because Canada can't figure that out. But the States is if everyone's vaccinated, people are gonna go see this movie in theaters, even though it will be on Disney Plus. I don't think people are gonna pay to see it on Disney Plus. People are gonna go pay to see it in the theaters.
Yeah.
And I think it's really impressive that people are projecting that number. And even if it's not that high, even if it's $120 million, I think that's still a win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that anything over like $50 million right now is a huge number.
It's a big success.
But I don't know. I believe in Black Widow. I really do. Mm-hmm. You know, we put out a trailer reaction for the last trailer that we didn't like the trailer and people thought it meant we didn't like Black Widow. We're Black Widow fans. Yeah,
we're big fans. Yeah. Being critical of a trailer does not reflect how we might feel about the actual movie. Mm-hmm. Unless it's the content, unless I'm like, oh, these are bad jokes or something. But
yeah,
still.
Or Dark Phoenix. No, I'm excited for Black Widow, and the nice thing about July is that I think that if it was going to come out at the beginning of May, like it was supposed to, we just went into another lockdown. I do not think our movie theaters would have been open for it.
No.
This might be the first movie we see in theaters.
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope theaters in Ontario open before then. But like right now, I'm like, all right, well, July might be my next movie theater experience.
Well, yeah, Toronto is in a bad spot. Although, like, the good news is, like, I am starting to know people who have vaccines booked, for, you know, first dose in April. Granted, they are 40 to 60 within that range, so it's not great, but it's something.
Yeah, 100%.
And I will take any win that I can.
Yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I want to see Black Widow. I really like the CKKW is literally saying the thing I was about to say. He said interested to see how Jim Hopper goes from the camp he's working into a camp to become the Red Guardian. I love you said Jim Hopper and then I blanked on his name. I had it, and then you said Jim Hopper and now I can't stop thinking about Jim Hopper. I get compared to him a lot. People say I look like him, which I think is funny. I don't really see it, but people.
Who's that?
The from Stranger Things.
Oh, the cop.
Yeah, people say everyone comes into my chat and says that I look like him and Dustin mixed into one human.
Yeah, that's real.
But I love Red Guardian, the Red Guardian we've seen in the trailers, and I want to see more of him. I think it's a really funny storyline, and I David Harbour, thank you so much, Frankenbeans. I'm really excited for this movie. I want to watch it. Dandelion, you have no idea how much I wish I could open a speakeasy cinema with like really high quality cocktails, and everybody has to give their phone at the door, so no one can have their phone in like. Oh my god, can you imagine like a boutique movie theater with one screen? There's like only 50 seats, 30 to 50 seats.
Yeah.
It's you have like a bar in the back with like a really classy establishment, and then there's like the bags that when I was working on the Avengers movie, we would show up to set in the morning and we would have to hand our phones over, and they would put them in these bags that blocked reception.
Right.
So that they couldn't go off. They use them at like comedy shows and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
But you would literally have to give your phone, and everyone would just have to sit with like nice cocktails. No one under 18.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
adults only.
Adult only. You've got like high quality snacks.
Oh my god,
like,
yeah.
You've got popcorn, but you can also get like gourmet stuff, or you can have like, you know, like, I don't know. Could you imagine like having like a creme brulee as you watch your movie?
Yeah.
Like,
I would. It's like taking the the what is the movie theater called? Oh my god, there's a movie theater like this.
The one that's all like fancy
in Texas, and
yeah,
now it's in California. There's Alamo Drafthouse. Thank you, Frankenbeans. Alamo Drafthouse. If you've never been to an Alamo Drafthouse, it is a fantastic way to watch a movie. They have like service, so like waiters will bring you food during the movie, and you have like a little table, and so you can have like your burger and your beer while you're watching the movie. And if your phone goes off, they will kick you out. Like they don't mess around with that. Like you're there to watch a movie. But like I want to take that one step further.
Yeah. Oh my god, we need to start playing the lottery.
Literally.
Because that sounds like... That sounds amazing. Kind of like Cineplex VIP, but Cineplex VIP is still like very much a movie theater layout. Like this would be like this
would be more the seating would be more like a cabaret space.
Yeah.
Where like
more
the tables
casual.
It would be like a table with like 3 very comfortable chairs around it.
Yeah.
And there'd be like multiples of those on like risers.
Yeah.
This is like my dream. I would love to run this place.
You could have a kind of like standing cocktail tables near the bar.
And then there would be a second room where after the film, everyone could go and talk about the movie they just watched while the next movie plays. And so like you would get cycled out. You would have like a 2-hour window to keep drinking and talking about the movie.
Yeah,
it would be the ultimate date spot.
Yeah, truly.
And like we could record this show live from our theater. This is the dream. This is the dream.
We're going to start playing the lottery.
Oh my god, this is the literal dream. The Nerdy Nightly would be a literal...
The Nerdy Nightly is like a speakeasy
Oh my god, y'all. And then like...
You could get like $500 bottles of red wine.
Oh, like... yeah. We would have a wine... Now we're just dreaming. Now we're just dreaming.
Anyways, one day, guys. One day.
One day. I don't know if we could do it in Toronto, though.
Toronto may not be the market for it. But.
Yeah, I think we would have to go to like New York or like in LA. It would do well in LA. People love.
Yeah. Honestly, though, the Nerdy Nightly is not a bad name for that.
The Nerdy Nightly is a good name for anything.
True.
Says the man who came up with it.
Open that theater. You know what, Jedi Rider? When we win the lottery, we will.
Oh man, I would love. The thing is, I wouldn't want to run a bar, but like I would love to run a bar. You know what I mean? Like
you would like once a week. You'd be like.
No, I would love to like own a bar, but I don't want to run it. That is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. No, someone else would run it, but then like you show up like a couple times a month, and like you're like the cool owner.
Well, we'd be there every Monday because we have to do the show.
That's true.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Now. Well, y'all, I think that we have a couple more news stories, but before we do that, I think it's time for a segment we haven't done in a while. Clarus Makes Up the News.
No, you can't throw me like that. You can't throw me because now I'm thinking about
I can do whatever I want. What are you talking about?
Fudge. Oh no. Oh no.
I need to create a lower third for Clarus Makes Up the News.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn off the Black Widow one.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
You dancing it out?
Yeah, I'm hoping this will like inspire me.
Let me just get this eyelash off of your nose. There
Thanks.
we go.
Oh,
Fantaxa! We have a Twitch baby.
Twitch baby, hi.
We have a Twitch baby. Thank you for 9 months, Fanta. Appreciate that. We adore you, daughter.
Yeah, you just called her Fantaxa.
Well, I started to say Fantaxia, and then you said Fanta, and I got like lost in the middle of it.
David got confused. Yeah, that's fair.
Clarus is stalling though. She's supposed to be making up the news.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you got this. I haven't made you do it in 3 weeks.
I know. Jedi Rider, 9 months is a Twitch baby.
Yeah, 9 months is a Twitch baby. Even though technically babies are born in 10 months.
Isn't it like 9 months and 3 weeks?
Yeah, which is like more closer to 10 months than 9.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole 9 months thing is this weird thing that everyone says, but it isn't like true.
Yeah, it's just a thing that we all say.
Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah. I don't know. There are a lot of early babies.
But yeah, me.
I was not. It was late.
And yet
to the party.
You're still so small. Will you make up the news, please?
Well, the news. There's a new VR reality game out. New VR reality game that has
we have a VR system
been released. Yep. We'll be able to get it. Right now it's only exclusive to Vive.
Oh wow, the HTC Vive. Okay.
That's the one. It's an exclusive VR reality game where you can live 10 months of pregnancy in the span of 2 hours. Yes, folks, it's the game that you've all been waiting for because we all want to know what it feels like to be pregnant and have a child. I can't believe those words came out of my mouth. But yeah, VR reality, you go through the whole 9-10 months in VR HD. Now, the reason it's only available for Vive is because Vive actually has an added component that comes with this game, which is like that 4D element that you sometimes see in movies where like you actually feel things. So, you feel the hunger, you feel the sweats, you feel the rest of it. Because, they wanted to give an authentic experience. A lot of husbands are getting this game so that they can relate to their wives a little bit better. It's, it's
because 9 months of pregnancy isn't bad enough. Experience all of it in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just condense 9 months of pregnancy into 2 hours. Just, would you like to live in hell for 2 hours?
Hey, but you have 2 full hours of people telling you that you look like you're glowing. So, like, I don't know. There's some downs, but there's also some upsides to it, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's a complimentary photo shoot that comes with it, so they will, like, VR, you'll be able to see yourself, what you look like pregnant, and you'll have photos to keep forever. It's a really beautiful, wonderful thing. The only catch is, like, that the 4D aspect of it, the, like, feeling aspect of it is an implanted chip right behind your ear. So it's, a lot of people are not really into that. So the game's been struggling to take off, which is why you probably haven't heard of it, but it's...
the game is being developed by CD Projekt Red, so we don't know if the baby is human. Wow, that's... you. I love that you managed to come up with your own worst nightmare. Yeah,
I did.
Like, the news that you made up today is the thing that you would hate more than anything on the planet.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Okay, here's my question, though. Would you rather play that VR game, or would you rather play a VR game where you're trapped in the woods being chased by eragondr and his children?
Oh, I was almost there with you until you had spiders. And now I really don't know. If I was, like, trapped in the woods and, like, a werewolf was chasing me or something, I would do totally that. But as soon as you say spiders, it makes it 1,000 times worse. Neither. I would die. I would die from anxiety between that choice. My heart would stop. And I would refuse to be resuscitated, so...
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get, like, very, very small spiders in our apartment very rarely.
That was
Clarus
not
loses her mind.
This big is not small. That is not a small spider.
Clarus loses her mind when there's a spider in the apartment. I think it's hilarious.
Don't at me. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. All right.
I apologize if that news was upsetting to anyone.
This is a weird, like, side story to this, but the pregnancy thing made me think of it. I used to work at a restaurant where our Caesar salad had raw egg in it. And there's a thing where they say that if you are pregnant...
Like raw egg white?
No, raw egg, just in the Caesar salad.
Oh, okay.
In the dressing. Because that's how it's traditionally made.
Okay.
A lot of dressings you buy don't do that, but, like, real Caesar dressing has raw egg in it, right? And so we would have to, like, tell people about that if they were pregnant.
Yeah.
But also, like...
Fair.
Guessing if a woman is pregnant is, like, the worst thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So there would be time... The way I would do it is I wouldn't be like, are you pregnant, ma'am? You shouldn't have the Caesar dressing. But
if they order it, you're like, just so you know if you are pregnant or may be pregnant.
Yeah, so some tables... No, I wouldn't even say that.
Okay.
Because if they don't care, I don't care, right? Because it's not... The risk of raw egg is really not that high, right?
Yeah.
But I would only bring up the raw egg and the Caesar dressing to tables where I was like, that woman might be pregnant. So I would just say, like, the Caesar dressing does have raw egg in it. That's all I would say. But, like, I would only say that to tables where someone maybe was pregnant. And I hated it. Playing that game.
That sucks.
I hated it so much. But, like, at the same time, women I would say it, and the woman would be like, oh, thank you for letting me know. I'll have the house. You know what I mean? Like, women would be very appreciative.
What a gamble.
I know.
Living on the edge.
Yeah. Yeah, it every time I was like, oh, is she? She might be. Gonna bring up the raw egg this time.
Just in case.
Just in case. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I never said why I brought it up, which is how I got away with it. But, like,
that's fine. That's fine. I don't know. I feel like I know I'm, like, weirded out by it, but also I drink whiskey sours, so it's kind of like.
Yeah.
I can't really, like.
Yeah.
Although it's not egg yolk, it's just the white. Still, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll eat. I would drink a raw egg. I don't care that much. I'm not the kind of person who... I don't bulk at stuff like that. Like, that's fine. It's
when my friend did cabaret, they had to do that every night.
Yeah, I know, whatever. It tastes weird, but, like, whatever.
I can't.
Whiskey sours are weird. I agree with you, Fradius, Daddius.
I think they're delicious.
I need to make simple syrup so that we have it for them. Because, like, doing it with raw sugar is really hard.
Yeah.
I don't think it blends very well.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're really tasty, but that's just me.
All right, should we get back into some news? We got a couple more stories to talk about.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go to some news about... Wait, where is it? Did I not make a thing for this? I might not have. That's weird.
For shame.
For shame. For shame. Heed not the rabble who scream revolution. They have not your interest at heart. I don't. That's fine. Just really quickly, this kind of goes off the same thing as the WB thing. Sony has sold the streaming rights of their movies in a continuation of a deal that I think is already in place. But Sony will continue to have their movies going to Netflix to stream after their theatrical model. Not a simultaneous release, but like they do now, Sony movies will end up on Netflix after a certain period. After their theatrical release, meaning that ongoing Spider-Man movies are going to continue to appear on Netflix instead of Disney+. So if you want to watch the entire MCU on one platform, you still will not be able to.
You cannot do that.
Unless you have that Apple TV thing that like mixes all of your streaming service you pay for into one thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Which you know what, Apple TV, well done. I like it.
That's fair. I can get behind that.
Yeah, I only use it on my iPad, but being able to like pull any title from any streaming service on one service is actually really nice. And yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. But yeah, so Sony has sold that to Netflix in a deal I'm assuming is worth a lot of money. Oh,
probably. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
In other news, we are going to be getting the movie The Tomorrow War, the next big Chris Pratt movie, which I was expecting to be a big movie theater release, will not be. This movie also filmed rather recently. We have not seen a trailer for it yet.
No.
But this is coming out in July on Amazon Prime. Yeah, Amazon Prime. Wow, I can't speak today. But yeah, so the movie directed by Clarus Makes Up is going to be going straight to Amazon Prime in July instead of getting a theatrical release, which is surprising me because it looks expensive.
Yeah, I'm also surprised we have not gotten a trailer for it or anything. Like literally, like I don't really know much about this movie.
Yeah, the plot of the movie is in the Tomorrow War. I'm reading this off comicbookmovie.com. This is what they have. The world is stunned when a group of time travelers arrive from the year 2051 to deliver an urgent message. 30 years in the future, mankind is losing a global war against a deadly alien species. The only hope for survival is for soldiers and civilians from the present to be transported to the future and join the fight. Dan Foster, determined to save the world for his young daughter, teams up with a brilliant scientist, Yvonne Strahovski, the woman who I spent most of my teenage years in love with because of Chuck, and his estranged father, J.K. Simmons, in a desperate quest to rewrite the fate of the planet. Here's my question.
Okay, wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you go back in time to bring people into the future for a war where they're definitely gonna die, how?
First of all, yeah, how is a good question. Also, do you think that this is going to streaming because it's not good?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. The plot is crazy enough that I don't think that this can be a middle-of-the-road film.
No, it's either going to be incredible or bad. And I'm leaning towards bad.
I don't know. Like, I love Yvonne Strahovski. I love J.K. Simmons. I love Betty Gilpin is in this. Sam Richardson, Edwin Hodge. I love Chris Pratt movies and TV shows. You know what I mean? Frank means that's just mean. I'm excited for like the potential of this movie, right? But like, there's a part of me that's like, why did they sell this to streaming? You have this huge cast. You have a huge science fiction idea. There's no way this movie was cheap, right?
No.
This sale to streaming makes me a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I don't think it's good. Like, you read that plot to me and I was like, I have questions.
And part of the reason for this might be that it is a Paramount release. Paramount, formerly one of the strongest studios in Hollywood, has been struggling a lot in recent years. Other than their Mission Impossible franchise, they've been having a tough time at the box office with some of their releases. And so this might just be that Paramount doesn't have the money to do a full marketing campaign following the pandemic.
Fair enough. Okay.
Paramount might be struggling a little bit right now, and this might just be too big a film for them to try and release. It might have just been safer for them to sell the movie to Amazon Prime and not take any loss on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it is going to be in your computer July 2nd.
Great.
A big sci-fi film starring some amazing people. It's wild.
Yeah.
Wild to see. I was not expecting. I expected this one to be like one of the big box office. Like I was expecting this to be a movie to get excited for this year in the theaters.
Yeah. I mean, we'll probably still watch it.
Oh, we will definitely see it.
You know, I want to know, but
can you show me?
I'm anxious about it.
I'm not. I'm excited for a trailer. I think this one's gonna be fun.
All right.
Even if it's dumb, I think it'll be fun, right? And that's sometimes that's all I want. I just want a sci-fi film where I can just like enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just want to have a good time and not care that it doesn't make sense.
Fair enough.
I say that, but then I watch Thunder Force and anyway, I need to stop talking about that movie.
The review is on YouTube.
Yeah, it is. All right. In news that I really want to get your opinions on, Clarus.
Ooh, all right.
Let's switch this over really quick to this one. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, the incredible writer and actress, has joined Indiana Jones 5. How you feel?
Is this a trick question?
No, it's just an honest question.
Okay, what has she done?
Oh, okay. She's been in Fleabag. She wrote and starred in Fleabag, which was a huge hit. For which she won I think she won an Emmy for writing and acting in that.
I did hear that, yeah.
And then she wrote Killing Eve, the show that received huge acclaim, and also was an Emmy contender, and starred Sandra Oh in the lead role. And then she's going to be starring opposite Donald Glover in Mr. and Mrs. Smith remake of the Brad Pitt Angelina Jolie movie.
Okay.
She was also L337 in Solo, the droid
that frees the other droids.
Yeah, and is Lando's co-pilot.
Okay.
She is widely revered right now as being one of like the more interesting up and coming writers in Hollywood.
Okay.
And Fleabag and Killing Eve have both just been like lauded from beginning to end.
Interesting. I only know her from Solo. I don't actually. I'm not familiar, unfortunately, with any of her work.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a strong opinion on it, unfortunately.
I really hope that she's taken a look at the script.
Yeah.
I hope that because she's brought in to be the female lead. She's gonna star in this movie. I really hope. I hope they're like, hey Phoebe, just before we start filming, give this a once over. You know, do a pass.
Yeah, that would be smart of them.
The last script for an Indiana Jones movie was a little rough.
A little rough.
Crystal Skull is a
mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sucks, right? Because like the pieces are all there for it to be good. And like I don't even mind the aliens thing, right? Like
Sure.
Some people walked out of that movie and they were so upset. They were like, aliens in Indiana Jones. I was like, what do you mean? Like
I mean, sure.
They opened a box in the first one and magic killed all of the Nazis. Like,
yeah.
I don't need it to be believable.
Yeah.
But I just need the plot to like the thing in the fridge at the beginning of the movie made me so mad. Like I literally like was sitting in the movie theater and I was like, you cannot survive a nuclear explosion by being inside of a fridge. That is, I don't know,
I'm gonna try it.
I was upset watching that. But like, you know, I don't even hate Shia LaBeouf. I think he's great in a lot of things. And so like, I think the potential for him to be a great character in that was there, right? They never really, it just never coalesced into something. And I hope that this movie does. If this is really going to be the final Indiana Jones movie starring Harrison Ford, I want it. I don't know that it's going to be great, but I want it to be. You know what I mean? I want it to have the...
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it can't really get worse than Crystal Skull, so, like, I'm kind of, like, here for it. And I don't know if they would have hired her if they weren't looking to also, you know, get her opinion on it at least. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, I don't think she would take it if it was a bad script.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
She definitely has, like, a reputation now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So this actually makes me hopeful.
The thing I'm most excited about, obviously, is John Williams is coming back for one last score. And, like, you know, I don't want to say it. I'm going to say it. But, like, I mean this in the best possible way. We don't know how many more John Williams scores we're going to get. He is of an advanced age. And John Williams, I can comfortably say is my favorite composer of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And so... anytime I hear that he's doing another one, I get really excited because I love him so much. And I just want more music to listen to because he just writes the kind of music that brings me so much joy.
Yep.
And so hearing that he's going to do this final Indiana Jones film is really is wonderful to me. And I just I love him. I want nothing but the best for him because he has brought endless hours of joy to my life.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make me very happy.
Yeah. I don't want to see an Indiana Jones without him being a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like his music is as much a part of Indiana Jones as Harrison Ford is.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. This one does spark joy.
Yeah, he absolutely does. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of all the major news.
Okay.
We did have one small thing about the Green Lantern Corps, but it's a rumor. I don't know if you want to get into it.
What is it?
Well, this one might be a slight spoiler for the Green Lantern Corps TV show. But we did get a character breakdown. Casting is underway for the Green Lantern Corps show. And so it does look like Sinestro, the famous arch enemy of Hal Jordan, the leader of the Yellow Lanterns eventually, will be a series regular on the show. And he is going to be a full Green Lantern member at the beginning of this show. So it does look like they're going to be doing the fall of Sinestro in the Green Lantern Corps, which isn't really surprising. Like, it's not surprising news, but we've kind of seen that story. That story was even in the Green Lantern movie starring Hal Jordan. Yeah. So I didn't know if they're going to do that like after, or they were going to start the Green Lantern Corps after he's already fallen. But it does look like Sinestro will be a series regular. And to be honest, I don't know how you find a better actor for that role than Mark Strong was in Hal. Say what you want about the Green Lantern movie, the casting was right.
Okay.
The execution was wrong. But Ryan Reynolds is the perfect Hal Jordan. Mark Strong is a perfect Sinestro, and I wish the actor who has to take up these boots luck because it's a tough role to jump into.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dagon, that's what I was just reading. Is Sinestro will be starting as a Green Lantern in this, so
yeah,
that's interesting. It will be weird to not have him fall to a Yellow Lantern while Hal Jordan is there. Because I do not think Hal Jordan is going to be a part of the show. It looks like other Green Lanterns are going to be the Green Lanterns at the time. And typically Sinestro and Hal Jordan, Sinestro's fall is paralleled with Hal Jordan in a way. But, they can do whatever they want. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what an HBO Max Green Lantern TV show looks like.
Yeah. 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 It could be great. It could be great.
I mean, look, HBO Max is making good DC shows. Harley Quinn is incredible. Mm-hmm. And Doom Patrol is incredible. Okay. Some people like Titans.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wait, isn't that on Netflix?
In Canada, yeah.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah, that's a HBO Max show. Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's actually a DC Universe show that is now an HBO Max show.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the team, right? Like, I think that these shows are hit or miss based on the creative teams, not based on the platform.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, yeah, that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's going to be our show for today.
Great.
Yeah, that's the news.
That was a good chunk of news.
Yeah, very funny. Clarus makes up the news today with Clarus inventing her own worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Which tells me that you might have some repressed feelings you need to go sort through before your stream today.
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But I am streaming today.
Yeah.
I might get on early.
Ooh, early.
I'm really into this Pokemon Nuzlocke.
It sinks its hooks in you, right?
Yeah.
Do you understand why I'm at where I'm at?
Yeah. Literally every day, David is like, I just want to play my Nuzlocke today. And I'm like, okay. And now I'm kind of like, oh, I get it. Like yesterday, I was like, I want to do my Pokemon Nuzlocke. So yeah, so today I'm supposed to be starting at 3 Eastern. But I might be on early, so come see if you get a notification at like 2 o'clock. We got some grinding to do, so we'll just hang out, level up those mons, and see if we can't get that second badge from Misty.
Ooh, y'all! I'll be back tomorrow with Dark Souls at noon. We will not be doing Dark Souls only because I can't stream. I will be doing like
it's gonna be like an hour of Dark
Souls.
Souls.
2.5 hours of Dark Souls, and then I'll switch over to some Pokemans for a few hours.
Yeah, David gets too salty with Dark Souls.
I do. I need to do it in small chunks, but I'm gonna beat that game eventually.
All right.
I'm just gonna do it in very, very, very small chunks.
The other thing as well, we have decided that our One Couple One Controller series will be every other week.
Mm-hmm.
So that every Friday night, one of us will be like, one of our channels will be live.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna start doing Fable Fridays, because the lovely Broken Pirates in the chat gifted me Fable.
Yep.
Which is a game that I have heard nothing but good things about. Everyone has told me that it's right up my alley. So there's gonna be that extra stream this week. So please come and hang out. That'll be Friday nights. We'll get a big chunk into it and see how we feel about it, and if we want to continue on with it. I have a feeling yes, but I'm looking forward to it.
All right, y'all. That's the news. That's the plan for the week. And as always, my name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye.
Bye.